Junko is, or was, a soldier. Now she sits on a bench, one leg chained to the podium below her. Beyond the city rises mountains covered in dense tropical forest. The midday sun beats on her. The only relief is in the form of a cool breeze coming off the sea. Junko is not a skilled person. She doesn't speak multiple languages. She doesn't have any trade skills to fall back on. She was a soldier, and that is not terribly useful now. She's not ugly, but nor is she that attractive. She's a bit older, a bit battle-worn. She doesn't have an elegant, graceful physique. She has one more of physical ability. Yet on that note, she doesn't appear to have the strength and constitution to survive the mines or the sugar plantations for more than a few months. On top of that, she's a prisoner of war, and so she's expected to be violent. And as the day dwindles on, with no food, no water, no bathroom break, the oppressive sun above, and a crowd of onlookers, none of which seem to speak her language, she waits for someone to swoop in and purchase her contract up super cheap so she can be put to work. Honoria has an interesting form of slavery. It is all based on contracts. Even as a prisoner of war, Junko is afforded some rights as a sentient species. However, whether or not this island and the other islands in the archipelago hold to Honorian rules is beyond her knowledge. And it is getting later in the day when somebody does swoop in to purchase her contract for half of her already cheap price. And Junko finds herself escorted through the streets of this foreign place with its foreign people to the back entrance of a very large and raucous building. And somewhere deep in the dark depths of this place, she's shoved into a room with a handful of other people. However, this room has water and a place to do her business, affording her some comforts and more privacy than she's had in the last few months. I have only one question. Does Junko know what the hell a Coliseum is? Hello, my name is Demon, and I am playing a tabletop RPG with the only player who has the same schedule as I do. Me. Okay, so we're going to start this off by making the first roll of the game. And technically we should be rolling for something else, but I'm going to roll a D100. Now I don't actually have my dice because I'm in between houses and I don't know where the hell they are at the moment. But I'm going to hit the button on my cell phone. It's going to be 53. So I'm going to come over here to the chaos chart. Get out of my face. Chaos rank is 5 because that's where we start. I'm going to give this a 50-50. A 53 is no. No, Junko does not know what the hell a Coliseum is. That's fun. Alright, the other thing that I have to do right now is I have to roll a d10, and it's a 2, which is below our chaos rank, which means something, but because I've never done this before, I'm not 100% sure what. I'll be right back. Okay, apparently rolling a 2 means it's an interrupt scene, which is not good, or maybe it's great, who knows. So I guess this is as they're bringing her into this building and throwing her in this room. So we got to figure out what the interrupt scene is. So I get to roll a d100 again, I get 44. A 44 hits the move towards a thread. Wow, okay, well, we gotta figure out what our threads are at the moment. So I had to take a minute to actually write something down here. I knew I wanted to find a purpose as a thread, and obviously escape slavery, because that would be a very boring game if it was just Junko as a slave. So, I guess that's evens and odds. I can't think of any other threads at the moment. Let's roll the die. Odds. Okay. Find a purpose. All right. And our event meeting action and subject. We get 96 and 83. 96. Guide 83. Riches. Guide riches. Huh. Guide of riches. I don't know. I mean, there's almost no way in which Junko does not create a mercenary company, but Guide of Riches. I don't know. There could be something. Nothing's coming to me. I'm going to roll again quick, and if nothing comes to me then we're just going to ignore it because I don't have time to just stand here and do nothing. 65 and 64. Wow, okay. 65. You understand how to use this. Attack a burden. Okay. Attack a burden. That's interesting. An interrupt thread, or an interrupt scene that goes to the thread of find a purpose with a guide to riches and attack a burden. Huh. She's a slave. She's stuck down here with other slaves. Okay, so I think they're taking her down into this this coliseum here, and I think maybe she comes across maybe a couple guys beating another guy, and this guy's like clearly capable of fending him for himself, but slave, so I don't know, strapped to a board or something and lashed for whatever reason. And I think that is going to drive her more towards the mercenary company. And so there's your guide of riches, and then maybe freeing the slaves or hiring slaves or something, because this is not how slavery works in Anoria, but it's clearly how things come here, which is just kind of screwed up. So maybe something to do with that. That'll be our interrupt scene. I'm new at this. I'm not necessarily sure what's going on here. Anyway, they're going to throw her into a room with a bunch of other people. She won't be the last person they throw in here. Now, there's going to be 12 other people, including her, or no, 12 other people other than her, other people. So we are going to do a quick generation of a person. I have my generator all set up here. And then I'm going to go through and I'm going to generate the rest of them. So I'm going to roll my D100. I get 31. 31 is, of course, a human, because obviously. And then I am going to roll another dice for gender. This is currently weighted at more towards male. This is a female. Okay. Okay, so I have randomly generated all the other 11 people in this room. So we have human, female, human, male, orc, male, so that's interesting. Norian, human, male, Norian, human, male, human, female, tiefling, male, Talani, male, and human, female. So 3 girls, the rest of them are guys, and all the girls are humans. The interesting parts we have here is the orc. I don't think Junko's ever seen an orc. So that's... I don't know how she's going to take that. And then a Talani. Now, a Talani is a native of this world. Okay, so fun fact. I don't have the internet right now, and I can't open the damn character sheet. But I can look at her skills. She has nothing in history. And I can see her... attributes. So she has a +2, so we are going to roll a d20 +2 and see if she knows anything about Talani. And with a 12, the answer is fuck no. Okay, so quick physical description of a Talani because they are a custom race. These are people with purple skin, various shades, usually dark hair, various eye colors. They tend to be shorter in stature than humans, or slighter, smaller. Like take a human, scale it down a little bit. So they're not like a dwarf, which are short and wide. They're just kind of normal but smaller. They have a long, sinuous black tail, pointed ears, and horns that kind of stick straight up. So to Junko, this person is going to be a Kumajin, which is demon person or a tiefling. Tieflings are actually fairly common in Anoria due to a reason that I'm not going to put here because this is the main body of the thing. And yeah, so to her, that's an Akumajin. So I have rolled 2 Anorians, and I would like to find out the likelihood that these do not speak Itaean, which would be, it's possible. So I'm going to go to my chart. Our chaos rank is 5. These people do not speak Itaean. I mean, I'm going to say no way. And then I had to find my roller because everything's done on my cell phone at the moment. 58. 58. So, no, okay, yes, they totally speak Anorian. There's that. So, Junko can actually say their first words in this thing, which is, "Hey, what is going on here?" So here's a question for our Mythic chart. Do these Anorians know what's going on? I'm going to say it's likely. I rolled a 57. Yes, they know what's going on. And holy crap, I gotta go to work. This is a coliseum, a place where people are forced to fight for the pleasure of the masses. Maybe we will be forced to fight each other, but more likely, we will be slaughtered by some champion or something. This is not good. Kusako. So I've come to the realization that I have made a mistake, which is probably going to happen a lot because I don't know what I'm doing. So for the themes for the interrupt scene I had gotten were guide riches and attack burden. Firstly, it didn't really work for an interrupt scene. The whole interrupt scene was stupid, right? And I still don't know what to do with guide riches, but I looked it back up because I felt like I was wrong, and it's attach burden, not attack burden. So I think the burden that Junko is going to attach is going to be trying to keep as many of these people in this room alive as possible. That seems like something she would do, and that fits with attach burden. It's really more of an altered scene than an interrupt scene, but like I said, I don't know what I'm doing. So a bunch of heavily armed guards come through the door and force everybody into another room. This room has weapons, not great quality weapons, just crude worn out stuff. And this is where we are forced to pick our form of defense. I don't even know what half of these things are. So here is a question for our Mythic GM emulator. Does anybody here know how to fight? There's 12 people in this room plus Junko. There's got to be somebody. So I'm gonna say it's somewhat likely. And a 75 is a no. If I said likely, it would be right on the dot. Uh-oh. So Junko looks around at these scared, timid people. Some random person tentatively picks up a dagger. I think that's the point where she realizes that everybody in this room except possibly her is going to die. And she's not good for that. So she takes a deep breath and says, "Okay, everyone grab a shield." And I think she is loud and assertive enough that a bunch of people look at her with blank stares. Question: does anybody in this room other than the Aeorians speak Itaean? Honestly, I'm feeling like this is an unlikely. 73, oh that's not good. Yeah, no, nobody else in this room speaks Itaean, and that is terrible. However, she does have the 2 Anorians, and they probably speak the common tongue, right? That makes more sense. So I'm going to say that's likely. Let's go ahead and roll that. I really got to find my dice. 25, okay. Likely 25, yes. The 2 Anorians do speak trade common as well as Itaean. So, that's good. One of these guys translates for her. Some people look around, and then the other one goes, "There are not enough shields. Everyone grab a spear. There are not enough spears." And Junko will swear to herself, Kusako. So, in the small amount of time she has allotted, she is going to attempt to arm everybody so that people have spears, and those people who don't have spears have a shield and some type of sword or even a blunt weapon, because honestly, these people don't look like they know what they're doing, and if they can just swing down, that would be good. She has absolutely no time to train anybody for anything before she and everybody else is shoved through the portcullis at the other end of this room, which of course leads to an open arena. The sands are stiff in places where the blood has soaked in and congealed. The whole place smells like sweat and death. While the stands are fairly well filled, most people are milling about. This doesn't appear to be some grand spectacle. And as Junko and her group are pushed out towards the center of the thing, somebody with a magically enhanced voice calls out in a bunch of words Junko does not understand, but fortunately is quickly translated into Itain. Ladies and gentlemen, the main event is fast approaching. But first, for your viewing pleasure, some of our monstrosities have gone hungry for too long, and it is feeding time. Junko looks at the guy next to her who has translated this for her. He looks rather pale. And in a single slang word that generally translates to, well, shit, Junko says, "Tsip." And that's where we're going to end this. Hello, my name is Demon, and I could kind of use your help. Right off the bat, I'm only going to be posting this to YouTube and Odyssey. I would like to eventually make it an actual audio podcast that you can get on your audio feeds and whatnot. The issue is, I don't know what to call this thing. So if you have any relatively decent ideas for what to name this campaign, go ahead and throw that in the comment section. Also, I really don't know where to go ahead and get royalty-free sound effects and music other than, just searching Kevin MacLeod. So, yeah, if you have any suggestions for that, that would be great too. Thank you. Background music in this episode is from Kevin MacLeod at Incompetech.com.